buenas a todos, aquí Adolfo Ruiz Calleja desde Berlín, estoy en la World Money Fair y me encuentro junto con Ben Wengel. Ben Wengel es una persona importantísima en NGC, es el jefe de los graduadores de moneda del mundo y es vicepresidente del departamento de moneda del mundo, moneda internacional, o sea, más allá de Estados Unidos, en NGC. Ha venido a la convención de Berlín, ha dado dos seminarios o un seminario 2 días seguidos y bueno, pues ahora tengo la oportunidad de poder entrevistarle. Voy a hacerle unas pocas preguntas que pues seguramente sean de interés para cualquier coleccionista de moneda española. Voy a hablar en inglés, la entrevista va a ser en inglés, añadiré subtítulos para que todos lo podamos entender. So, Ben, thank you for receiving us.
Of course.
Yeah, I would like to make some questions, and that they may be a little bit tricky, I have to say. So, the first one is that there are a lot of people saying, or some people saying, that if they had a good counterfeit, then they will submit it to NGC, because if the NGC says that this is an authentic coin, then all the market will consider this authentic. So they say that hiding a good counterfeit, the easiest way is to have it in a NGC holder. So what do you do for this situation not to happen? How can you be sure that the best counterfeits in the world, that I'm sure that they should meet them to NGC, they are not holded?
Right. Yeah, so NGC takes quite a few different approaches to making sure that we don't encounter or encapsulate counterfeits in our holders. We have a high-res image database that has thousands of photos of counterfeit coins, as well as genuine coins to compare against and try to match up repeating marks and die match to counterfeit dies and things of that nature. We have a lot of reference works in our library, a lot of IBSCC articles and other articles about counterfeit coins. And then we just have really strong authenticators and the tools that help us to authenticate. We have things like stereoscopes, we have things like metal testers, specific gravity machines, and things of that nature that really help to put us on the cutting edge of counterfeit detection.
Okay. So let's say that you are like steps up ahead the counterfeiters.
Hopefully.
Okay, another question is about the grading. Because there is a team of graders, that
Yes.
You are the chief of this team of graders, but how can you ensure that everybody grades exactly with the same criteria?
Mm-hmm. So I think...
And now, especially now that you are grading in different places, you are grading in Sarasota, you are grading in Asia also,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully in the future also in Munich. So how do you ensure this?
Yeah, so there's a lot of work that goes in training a grader and making sure that they're aligned on the NGC line, because that's very important to what we do and making sure that our product is consistent. The other thing is that NGC uses a finalizer system, right? So a finalizer is the last person to look at that coin before it goes into a holder and goes through the QC process. So even if a junior grader isn't necessarily completely aligned on the NGC line, the finalizer is going to see that coin next, and they're going to move that coin, if necessary, into the NGC line.
Okay. And you said that that NGC has a huge database of coins. Are you somehow using artificial intelligence for any of these purposes, like I don't know, kind of algorithm that says or not, or at least suggests that a coin is counterfeit, or that a coin may have, I don't know, MS67 instead of MS65?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've introduced AI to help in things like collectible identification. That helps us to do things like verification work. But as far as like authenticating pieces, especially coins, it's especially difficult because you're talking about a three-dimensional object. So there's a lot of depth and a lot of imaging that has to take place for AI to kind of get a full picture of that coin. And so at this point, we're still using humans to do the bulk of our authentication work, just from a visual and a forensic standpoint.
Yeah. So also the authentication and the grading is done 100% by humans.
That's correct, at least for coins. Yes.
For banknotes also?
Yes,
Or-
also for banknotes.
But in the future, is there any plan of because I assume that at some point artificial intelligence will be very useful in this kind of huge databases. Is there any plan or anything for that?
Yeah, I think the immediate plan though is for AI to be more of a support role in terms of like identifying collectibles and maybe even pointing out problems, but not necessarily doing the authentication and the grading portion.
Okay, okay. Well, the next question is about Munich because we have seen that in Munich, well, there is an office. It used to be just an office.
Yes.
Then graders went from time to time, like twice a year. First the graders of banknotes, then the graders of coins. Now there is a group of graders. It started just by one guy, by Marian.
That's right.
Now there are 4 people in Munich settled down. But only for banknotes. The coin graders are going and coming like twice a year. Is there any plan for having a stable group of graders in Munich?
So we're always looking for really talented individuals, and honestly, that's the greatest hindrance to us having full-time coin grading in the Munich office, is just finding the actual grading talent. The thing that I think a lot of people don't realize about coin grading is that you can't just be a specialist, right? You have to be familiar with a really broad range of issues across a very large time span. You can't just focus on one specialty area. You have to be familiar enough with everything that could be submitted to NGC. And so that's a really daunting task that takes years for someone to get to the point of mastering.
Yeah, so that the problem is the human factor, let's say, finding talented people and training them.
Yeah.
So maybe some young people who want to be numismatics can send your CV.
Of course.
CV, I mean.
Yeah, we're always looking for talented individuals. Yes.
Yeah, if somebody wants to work in NGC, then you can submit. There is always open positions.
Yes.
In NGC, so you can submit your CV there. But it takes time to be trained.
Yes, of course.
It takes a lot of time.
It does.
And the last question, I heard an interview that in another interview that you said that your favorite coin was the 100 escudos of Segovia, 1609 that NGC graded last year. Is it because it's a huge and impressive coin, or is it because you like the Spanish numismatic for some reason?
I just really like large format gold coins, and I've always wanted to see 100 escudo, and then being able to see one was something that I've wanted to do for years, so that was really exciting to me. But yeah, I really like the large format gold, the really unique kind of, I don't know what the word is, like the coins that tell a real story.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's really exciting to me.
All right. Yeah, have you ever been in Madrid?
I have. I've
Yeah,
been all
well,
over.
in the Madrid Mint Museum, the National Spanish Mint Museum, then they have also a 100 escudos that we can all see. But this guy could hold it. That's the difference, yeah. You could hold it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that this is enough for the interview. Thank you so much, Ben.
Of course, thanks for having me.
And yes, espero que os haya gustado la entrevista. Bueno, yo creo que es bastante útil, tanto cómo funciona por dentro NGC, como pues planes futuros, porque al final es una empresa que de una forma u otra tiene un impacto enorme en todos los coleccionistas. Yo sin más me voy a despedir. Un saludo a todos.